everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my colour combinations for both the months August and September. So I'm now doing these every 2 months, so it will mean that they're a little bit longer, but also it does mean that you will get the PDFs for the colour combinations in my completed pages videos. So the next video that I will be doing will come out at the beginning of December, which will be October and November. So in the meantime, in my October completed pages, I will make sure to put the October PDF in the description for you as well, so you can still have them in advance. But yeah, it feels so weird actually filming a video because I haven't done one for over 3 weeks or something, I think, since my last completed pages video. I've actually got a bit of time to film now because I'm on half term, so that's really nice, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. So I've got quite a few things to share with you because August especially was a busy month. I actually managed to do quite a lot, and September I have a few, but it's mainly from August. So we're just going to get started. As always with these videos, I just sort of go into a bit more depth about what I've written down, because some things might not make sense if you're just reading them. But if you haven't seen one of these before, then I've got a sort of coding system with how I do things. So B means base, so that's the first base colour that I put down, and then I work from top to bottom. So the top colour tends to be the darkest shade in most cases, and then I'll go back over with the base colour at the end. So S is shadow, so that's the last colour that I will go in with if I think something needs to be deepened. I've got H for highlight, which I will go in with last if I want a bit of a highlight colour. And then in some cases there's two bases, or there's colours I use for just shadows and things like that. So yeah, there's quite a lot. And what I always do is share the picture alongside the colour combinations so that you can see which bits I'm talking about. So this is the first one. This is from my Summer Spazia going by Rita Berman, and this was my evening garden page, which took a while to do, but I really enjoyed it. So the background, and this is a mixture of a lot of different pencils, by the way. The background was a background that I had to layer quite a lot to do. This is the blue section and this is the pink section. We've got the roses here, which were fairly simple. I went over them with white gel pen. The blue shutters here, the cat, the table, which was a similar colour to the shutters but slightly different. What I tend to do with pages like this with quite a few elements is try and reuse colours but in a slightly different way. So the table has the same pencils as the flowers here, so that's why I didn't bother writing the colour combination down again for these flowers, because it's exactly the same. And then we've got the stone wall here, which also merges into the background. The rose leaves, which are these ones, and then the other leaves that I refer to here are these ones, so any of the others by the flowers. The pink flowers are these ones, and the purple tulips are these here. So overall I really enjoyed doing this one. Quite a difficult one for me in terms of colour palette, just because it was, I didn't just want it to make it the same, and wanted to do something a bit different, which is why I did the blue background, but that was a lot of fun. Then I've got my page from I Believe in Fairies, which was the haunted house that I did for Summer Halloween. Now you pull out, you will be getting a sneak peek at another completed picture. So for this one I didn't write down everything because there were some things that I didn't think I would necessarily need again. But the main things I wanted to note down was the background, and this was all Black Widow pencils. So the background was all pencil and just in that order. So as you go further down, we've got the pinks that merge here, but most of it's blue. And then we've got the grass, which is this bit down here. The witch hat, which was something different that I did because I did pink and blue as a base. So that's why I have two base colours there. And then the mushrooms. So this first part is referring to the top parts of the mushroom, and then the second part is the bottom parts of the mushroom. So they were the elements that I really wanted to remember, especially the sky, because I do think that I will attempt that sky again, I really liked doing that and drawing in the moon and things. So that's my I Believe in Fairies postcard. Now, as you can see, we've got quite a lot of Rita Bearmans. So then we've got Minorizer. This was the double spread that I did. Now, I didn't note down many things for this because there's a lot of objects on this page, and I knew it would take me forever to write down the objects. And to be honest, because it was a very objecty page, I tended to go with colour palettes that I had already used before, or they were fairly generic colour palettes. But I did want to note down the background, the sky, and the houses, because I will definitely be using the same colour combinations for other houses in this section. So that here, for example, so I definitely wanted to write those down. So the clouds were just a few of the colours from the background. So the background again was just this order. This was the purple bit, this was the pink, and this was the orangey yellow section. So each section had a different base colour. And as I put here, all the light layers, light to dark, were used for the clouds. And then I used a Prismacolor blender and white gel pen. So I only used the colours once, so there was no base colour for any of it. I just simply went in with all 5 of them and then blended them together. The forest trees, with these ones, I did just want to note down what colours I used because I quite liked how they turned out. And then the houses, so we've got all the different sections here. So this first one is referring to the brown areas. Then we've got fawn, cream and milk, which were the cream houses. Eggshell and ivory, which was the whiter part. This bit was the blue. And then, which bit was this bit? Sorry, no, I think they might have, yeah, they were the roofs. And then, oh no, sorry, this top bit here with the mushroom, fudge and ice cream was the pink section of the houses. This was the brown section of the houses, sorry, my mistake. So they were the things that I wanted to remember because I definitely knew I would need those again. And as you can see in this example, I used ivory to blend only because I didn't feel like I needed it as a base colour. So sometimes I do that as well. Then we've got the citrus wreath, which I did write down a lot for because I liked quite a lot of the things that I did on this page. So lots of it is fairly self-explanatory. Same thing with the grapefruit. I tend to bracket off different things rather than writing out every single thing. So this part was the actual flesh of the grapefruit. This bit was the skin on the outside, and then I just used eggshell and ivory as a base for the whiter area before I went over with white gel pen. The dark pink pointy flowers were these ones here. Hope you can see. The berries are here. The butterflies were really fun to do, and I didn't actually write down, but I used a Posca and white gel pen and things after that. The pomegranate, again, I've bracketed things off. So we have the darker colours, which I used for the actual pips. Castle and Stinkbug were for the top of it, and then eggshell and ivory again, just as a base before I went over with white gel pen. So we've got the pink pointy flowers and the dark pink ones. So as I said, the dark pink ones are these ones. Pink pointy flowers were these lighter ones here. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but I went over with fine liner just to do some lines on it, which I'm hoping you can see there. The purple flowers are these ones. The bees, obviously the bees, and I used also just some black fine liner to black out the stripes, and then the background was just sandpiper and light yellow. And then I think I have a couple more things on this page. Yes, so the 2 types of leaves we have, the green brown leaves were these ones, and then the olive leaves were the other colour. So I didn't use too many different colours for the leaves, which I liked. Now these were really fun to do, mixing the brown in, and I really enjoyed doing that. So I also did use some fine liner for a few accents, I think, on those. And then, yeah, just lots of glittery paint and things on that as well. So that is August. So I had quite a few pages for August. And September, I have a few to share with you. So we'll start with Mythic World. Now this was just our teaser, and I don't usually just use one pencil, but I did actually for this one. So what I didn't write down, well, I didn't write down a lot actually. What I didn't write down were all of the fiddly bits, and to be honest, I didn't even use that many colours on this picture because it's quite cohesive in terms of the different colours. There's really only the red, the blue and purple, and then the brown colours. So the moon, I didn't feel like I needed to write it down, and I just used a few colours with pastel as a base. But the background, I used these two colours with the, these three colours with the purples, they were the blues. And then it says here that I used chalk pastel bases with light purple and light blue. So you don't have to use them, but I like using pastel as a base, especially if I've got a large area to cover. And then the kimono, I have written down here, so the fine liners that I used. Now I based all of the kimono with fine liner. So these are the red ones, and then I also used a pink fine liner on certain areas like the flowers, and pastel green gel pen for all of the green. And again, if you don't have them, it doesn't matter. You could leave areas to use just a green pen on or something. But yeah, that was that one. So they were the main areas really, and the clouds were the same colours as the background, just used differently. And as I said, the moon is just sort of an ochre colour, which I put on top of the pastel. So that was that one. So as you can see, I don't feel like I need to always write down everything that I use, or every element, because as much as I want to write down lots of things to remember them, the likelihood of me colouring them again in exactly the same way is quite unlikely. So I just, especially with flowers and leaves, I'll always write down the colour combinations. But if I've used them before, chances are there'll be something similar in earlier months. So now we move on to Minorizer Deck Asian, which was the koi fish picture, which was one of my favourites. And I did write down everything that I used for this because I'm probably going to transfer some colours onto this page when I eventually get around to it. And also I was just really pleased with how these turned out. There's a lot of white gel pen on this. The water was fairly easy to do in terms of just dark to light with the blue. The lotus flowers were pencil, but then I also used fine liner and Posca pen and white gel pen to go over things. So the fine liner was just used for some of the darker areas and the white gel pen for some of the lighter areas. The lily pads, so these are all of the pencils. And I think I mentioned when I did my completed pages, I did all the pencil work. Then I went over with the acrylic paint marker in olive green, which are all of the darker bits. So I went over all the black lines. Then I used a Pit Artist pen to white out some of the inner part, went over that with white gel pen, and then used fine liner to add little lines as well. So that was quite a detailed process. It took quite a while to do each of those. And then I also wrote down the two different koi fish that I did for this. So we've got the orange blue koi fish, these ones, and again I've got the different sections. So this is the section with the orange parts, and I did use a fine liner. And then this was the blue into pink, so that's what I did for all of the fins. I did pink into blue, and I used a white to burnish instead of a blender pencil. And then we've got the red and green koi fish, so these were the colours I used for the red section. And then I used charcoal green and cat's eye, which was the greener bit, and then all of this section was exactly the same as the orange blue koi fish. So all of the fins are exactly the same colour, it's only the bodies that are different. So they were so much fun to do, and for me the white gel pen definitely made them come to life a little bit more. So I'm really fortunate for white gel pens because I use them so much, and I just think they gave them that extra sort of translucent look to them. That was a lot of fun. And then the final page that I have to share is Mein Herbst Spazia Gang, which was the Wellington boot page that I did. And again, I didn't write down everything for this, but I did want to write down the leaves because they were a lot of fun. And also I liked the autumnal colour that I used, because in the past I've done autumn leaves a little bit more orangey and with yellow. These were quite muted and brown, so I really liked doing those. And I also added a greyed violet colour in, which is sort of a mauve colour, mauve, into it, which is really interesting. And then the blue skies, so these were the two different skies that I had going on in this picture. So we have the background one and then the background in the umbrella. So this was slightly darker. So the grade blue and pleasant blue was the background, and I used Zest It to blend it. And then grade blue and Picasso Sky was the umbrella one. So that's why I used Zest It Blend, especially for those, because it just made sure that they were really smooth. And yeah, I really like the effect because it sort of looks like pastel or marker or something, but it's actually pencil. So that's everything that I have to share with you. I hope that that was helpful in some way, and I really enjoy doing these videos because I always find it really inspiring, looking at other people's colour combinations. And Emma from Emma Colours 2020 came up with this fabulous idea, and she shares her colour combinations, which I really appreciate. So thank you so much, Emma, for the inspiration. I've nearly been doing these for a year now, so I do have all of my videos from January up until now up on my channel if you're interested. And as I said, I've got the PDFs in the description for you, and even though I've put them in my completed pages already, I will make sure to link them down below as well, so that you can print them off if you wish to. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.